And I came up with 5. And what are the 5? The first one is hard work. I'm sure we all agree that hard work is an element of success, right? Hello? Amen. Then the second one is prayer. Maybe you should repeat them after me to be sure that you are fully engaged. The first one is what? Second one is prayer. Third one is obedience. Obedience. And the fourth one is attitude. Somebody say attitude. Attitude. Somebody say attitude. And the fifth one is diligence. Diligence. Okay, so those are the 5. I'm sure there are many others, but those are the 5 I was able to come up with this morning. And then the Lord told me to score them. I remember that I have done this exercise before a long time ago. That was why it was easy for the thing to come out again in my heart. So I listed A, B, C, D, E to Z and decided to give each alphabet grading or scores. So A was 1, B 2, C 3, D 4, right down to Z, that's 26. And now went on to ascribe each score to the letters that we have in each word. So for hard work, H was 8, A was 1, R 18, and the total score for hard work is 98. Pass mark. Amen. Then I look at prayer. I scored prayer accordingly. Prayer came up with 83%. And I look at obedience. Obedience came up with 62%. And I look at diligence. Diligence came up with 67%. And I look at attitude. Attitude came up with 100%. 100%. So which means of all these elements of success we talk about from the perspective of that particular grading, attitude came out tops at 100%, followed by hard work, 90%, and etc., etc., etc. So this morning I'm led to share and discuss on attitude. And I want you engaged. What is attitude? Who can describe, who can define for me what attitude is? Anybody? I come to you. Anybody? Anybody went to college? Want to tell us about attitude? Yes, ma'am.
Attitude described as your disposition towards whatever you are doing.
Go, ma'am.
Yeah, I mean the word disposition towards whatever.
Disposition.
Yes. Towards whatever.
Mommy says attitude means disposition to whatever you are doing, to a situation, also to people, to events, to employment, etc. Give me the clap of him. Any other definition for attitude? Any other definition? Nobody went to college in this block. You're a teacher. Attitude.
I was about to say what she says.
Oh. She was about to say what she said. Yes, I think, yes, sir. Somebody put up his hand there. The attitude.
Attitude is about your mannerisms and your reaction to issues generally.
Somebody is here. Mannerism and reactions. Amen.
Attitude may mean your mindset.
Attitude is your mindset. Amen. Sister Biola.
Your feelings towards something and the way your body language.
Your feeling towards something and the way your body language communicates. Somebody at the back, quickly, just one word, attitude, definition.
Psychological constructs
Psychological constructs.
that inherits a person.
That's what?
Inherits a person, that describes a person.
That describe a person. Give Lord a clap of him. Yeah, those are wonderful wonderful definitions of attitude. Amen. We can just add one or two more. You can add that it's a tendency or the orientation of the mind in particular. And then also, like somebody mentioned, is a position or posture of the body language, your body language. You know, some people, when you're talking to them, they send you feedback, whether they're saying a single word, and you know that they are probably not going to agree with what we are doing. So this morning, I want to talk briefly on what we call positive attitude. Positive attitude. And I want you to either write it down or record it in your phone, because I learned a lot when I got all this revelation. Amen. Positive attitude is a habit forming. It's a habit forming. And it has an impact on you and on the people around you. A person with a positive attitude will almost always outperform a person with negative attitude. So if you are in a committee or you are in a team, even your place of work, those who have positive attitude will always outperform those who have negative attitude, as you can see later. Positive attitude shapes your happiness and gives direction to your success in life. You know, many people claim to beliefs and attitudes that make them losers. They always believe negatively. Oh, it cannot work. It cannot work. Or I can't do it. Or because I'm black and I'm in America, there's a limit to my level of achievement. That's not true. We've seen so many black people achieve excellence at every front, virtually in every aspect of life. So the fact that you are black does not mean that you cannot achieve the best. We have seen people who have forever looking for excuse to say that, well, it's because I don't have papers. In fact, many people have over-glorified papers over and above God. I ran to somebody in the United Kingdom 3 weeks ago. I was in London, and he's so successful, and we were talking, and I asked about his wife. He said, Pastor, you need to pray for me. I've been looking for a way by which my wife can come into the UK for the past 15 years. I said, fight for him, fight for her. Now, why do you fight for her? He smiled. He said, Pastor, I've been here for the past 26 years. I have no papers. But come and see the business that he's doing. The business that he's running. Very successful. So the fact that you have no papers does not mean that you can still not be happy. Amen. It does not mean that you can still not possess the land. Because the Bible tells me that every ground I step upon, I will possess. Amen. That should always be your attitude at all times. Now, your attitude is a great thing that only you can control. Your pastor cannot control your attitude. Your parents cannot control your attitude. Your husband or your wife, your children cannot control your attitude. But you alone have the ability to control your attitude. You are the only one who can drive yourself positively from the inside. James, a Harvard psychologist, says something that's very profound. And I quote verbatim. So the greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitudes of mind. I say that again. The greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitudes of mind. So, brothers and sisters, I want to let you know that developing and sustaining a positive attitude requires a disciplined skill that you must practice regularly. It's a skill that you have to develop and practice regularly. Proverbs 17:22. Proverbs 17:22. It says, a merry heart does good like medicine, but the broken spirit dries the bones. When the bones are dried up, the person will suffer what we call a structural failure. Body will just collapse. And that's it. I pray in the name of Jesus that your bones will not dry up.
Amen.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Let me go on now and talk about truths about attitude. Some truths about attitude. Number one, it is the way you look at life. That's what Mama said when she gave us that definition. Attitude is the way you look at life. It is also the way you choose to respond to events or to situations, etc. It's your choice. The way you choose to respond to events. For the past 4 or 5 seasons, Lakers have been non-performers. But I remain a committed fan of Lakers. I didn't give up on them. If I look for excuses for them. Last year when he did not make the playoff, I said, oh, it's all right. They won about 15 trophies in the past. I mean, how many teams have won that number? Maybe only Boston, Celtics. All right, only Celtics. So Canada won for the first time in their lifetime. They will not let us rest. We will see whether they are actual champions this season when their star had come to Los Angeles. So whichever way we look at it, we have a very high chance of winning the championship this year, either Lakers or Clippers. So my expectation, my high hope about Lakers is paid off doubling now, either Clippers or Lakers. A junior friend of mine took me to watch one of Lakers games last year. We paid $237 or $257. I've forgotten to have good seats. Guess what? Lakers lost. He paid for the tickets. He was very mad. He was agitated. It's like the loss of that game spoiled the entire day. I said, but take it easy. Because if they won, they will not give you $1. So what's your problem? I console myself by saying, don't worry, it's good that they lost. Because then they will know how to recoup, how to regard that, and how to bring more people, better people. And that was going on now. I'm making reference to this to let you know that there's nothing is too serious in this world. Nothing. However terrible it may look, for as long as you're a child of God, and for as long as you know that the joy inside of you is powered from the inside by the Holy Ghost, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Your attitude is not something that happens to you. Your attitude is created by your thoughts, your thinking. And guess what? You are the one who chooses your thoughts. You are the one who chooses the direction of your thinking. And I discovered that characteristics of successful people include ability to maintain a positive and proactive attitude. A positive and proactive attitude. You just see some people, you keep on wondering what's going on with these people. They are always happy. They are always proactive. And I think I read something which I'm sure some of you have read before. It says, give the world a smile, and the world will smile back at you. Give only one smile. I've tried it before. When I look at this place and smile, the person smiles back. Look at it, smile. Only one smile. and then you receive presence of smile. But frown at the world will frown back at you. And it will appear as if the entire world is against you. Let me mention something quickly about negative attitude. Proverbs 15:1. Proverbs 15:1. It says, a soft answer turns away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. A soft word turns away wrath, but grievous words, bitter words, they stir up anger. As I grow up into matured age or maturity, I begin to gain some wisdom that teaches me that when I'm in contention with somebody and we are stating our cases, I do not use accusatory languages. I do not say, you, this is what you did, this is what you said, instead use, this is what happened. This is what I perceive. This is what I think you are saying. Not you. But the moment you begin to do that, that person is preparing his or her defense. And it's going to make his or her defense much more accusatory than your own. It's so simple, guys. Negative attitude is a product of negative thinking. Negative thinking. I don't know why I've told you this before. A long time ago, when I used to have some serious inferiority complex, when I used to look for approval from people about my dressing, a long time ago, somebody taught me a lesson I would never forget. I showed up one day in what I considered a nice dress combination, and the person looked at me and said, you're no longer in nation now. Look at what you are wearing. I felt bad. That spoiled my fun that day. And everybody looked at me. I thought they were looking at my dress combination. Later on, a few weeks later, when I was going to go out, I remember what that guy said and tried to make my combination better. And I packaged myself along this line of criticism. Guess what? It was the first person I saw again at that point saying, because you said red, she's that, you are not putting yellow on. Boy, I'm sorry for you. I didn't like it. Again, my confidence dwindled. So the next time I was going to go out, at that time, I had to bring about 3 or 4 dresses. I don't know which one I will wear now. Anyway, when I eventually selected one, I was praying that I hope that man does not come. I hope he doesn't come. Guess what? He came. He said, you know what, boy? I knew you would make your good dress in the army. He's made up his mind that no matter what I wore. After some time, I just said, that you know safe. So I changed my statics. Next time I went out to address to please myself. And when I saw him, before he said anything about my dress, I spoke about his dress. He said, look at you, as you're correcting me. Look at you. You know what? His commission was good, but I criticized it. He said, look at what you are wearing. Horrible. You are ashamed of yourself. So before he could gather himself together, I escaped with my business. You know, negative attitude affects you physically. Physically, I may not know. You see some people walking like crap, it's because they are angry. They don't want to look at a particular direction. Physically. So it is possible for you to achieve permanent physical deformity because of negative attitude. One other thing I need to mention to us is that negative attitude will make you commit sin without your knowing. Negative attitude will make you commit sin because you will never see anything good in somebody else. There was a time when I became a junior minister, I thought I knew it all because I could debate. Because for years I've been debating for my college. I assumed I could preach the best of sermons. So there are times when I go to church and I sit down, like some of you are sitting down. I'm busy analyzing and judging the sermon of that man or that pastor. And sometimes I criticize his elocution, his grammar, and everything. By so doing, I missed a lot from the blessings that the guy was trying to pass across. And I come empty and I leave empty until the Lord delivered me. There are many of us this morning that the Lord will deliver. Amen. In the name of Jesus. Mind what I said. I said there are many of us that God will deliver. That's the language of communication. And I'm sure that you guys prefer that to there are many of you that the Lord will deliver. That's not a good enough language. But there are many of us that the Lord will deliver. As a part of attitude, your disposition towards attitude, to let you know that you are not in a position to keep on judging other people negatively. Amen. Glory be to God. Amen. Let me mention steps to have positive or proactive attitude, and we will conclude. We take our Holy Communion, and then we do our Thanksgiving. The first one is that you must be disciplined and selfless about the way you see, the way you think, and the way you make judgments about events, situations, people, and yourself. Why is Pastor Niran not preaching a regular sermon this morning? Because this kind of message helps a lot. Because sometimes when we preach a regular sermon, it's like we over spiritualize the message that people need to take home. So you need to develop a positive attitude of selflessness that is also disciplined for you to have a positive or proactive attitude. Then you must consciously and proactively manage the way you process events and actions. We compulsively must consciously and proactively manage the way you process events and actions. You know, in the middle of the night when I woke up and I look at WhatsApp, I saw my friend, my brother, Papa. Everybody say Papa. Papa. Okay, give the clap for Papa's life. You don't know Papa. Papa, please be often let people know you. That's Papa. Mama, join your husband. Amen. You know what happened? In the middle of the night, I just saw on Facebook that Papa engaged his youngest daughter and they were dancing. They were only the two of them. Beautiful dancing for about 3 minutes. And I showed my wife and we both said, oh, this is good. My wife said, look at what he wrote on top. It says, father-daughter dance in the future. Put your hands together for it. No. You know, it gave me joy. I started dancing in my heart. I mean, it helped me. If a lot of people could engage their children at that level of rapport, the life would be better. It was like they were competing. And I was looking for Mama Songa to begin to spread them. She didn't show up. Glory be to God. Yeah. Amen. You are the video, you are the camera woman. Glory be to God. Amen. It's not too late for you to spread it. All right. For you to have a positive attitude, you must see yourself as a source of light, not a borrowed pit of darkness. You know, you and I, we agree that there are some people that we see and something lights up in our heart. Excuse me. There are some people you see that even it doesn't matter how low you are feeling, you feel encouraged. And there are some people you see, it doesn't matter how happy you feel. Oh my God. You look somewhere else. Don't be like one of those people. Amen. Do not do what? Be a source of light. Because that's who we are in Christ Jesus. Let people see you and let their problem melt. Even if it's temporarily. Give people hope. Amen. Be mindful of your choice of words and language in describing, relating to events and people. There are some people that in your heart, in your mind, you call stupid. And you don't have the courage or the guts to say it out. It's still the same thing. In your mind, you look at the person and you dress him down, you dress her down, and you reject the person and you condemn the person in your mind. Because the best of attitudes come from the mind. It's still negative. So how do we help ourselves? We must be self-aware of our attitude. We must be self-aware of our attitude. We must speak to ourselves at all times. You must proactively encourage yourself to be kind, to be nice. It is true that many people can be horrible. It is true. But you know, there are some people outside the world who also see you as a potential horrible person. Wives are potentially looking at their mother-in-laws as the evil they must tolerate because of the love for their husband. It may be true. It may also not be true. But the mother also is looking at the wife of her son as a demon that she has to cope with. But if both parties are proactive, if both parties believe the best about each other, something will click. And that thing is called love. I practiced something before. I have pretended to love people in the past, and I actually ended up loving them. Even in this church, from the valley to Los Angeles, there are people that I pretend to love them because I'm pastor, and eventually I ended up loving them. Why? Because in pretending to love them, I began to see the positive aspects of their being, and that translated into authentic love. Now I think I was boasting to some group of people I was teaching, when I was teaching some time ago. I said, I thank God that I'm no longer capable of hating people. Amen. Just like I'm no longer capable of watching horror movies where Dracula will sink his teeth in somebody's neck and blow. I close my eyes and get up, I shut the television. I can't do it again. Yes, I still watch movies where people shoot or where terrorism will happen. You know, I like the excitement. You know, the boss is moving and the build up and suddenly the bomb is detonated. But if I see the process of making the bomb, planting the bomb, I'm not that strong enough to follow the process. Just as I cannot stand to watch a movie where somebody uses a knife to stab people continuously. It takes a level of demonic influence in your lives to enjoy and tolerate all those things. I'm going to pray a peculiar prayer for you that God will lift you above any ability for you to hate anybody in life. Amen. Yes, you can hate the person's behavior to things or issues because your own behavior is never 100% perfect in any case. One of the things that used to frustrate me when my children were growing up, and there's language that's come to all of them. They say, Dad, why are you yelling? Why are you yelling? I said, I'm not yelling. They said, Dad, you are yelling. I said, I'm not, you are still yelling. Why are you yelling? And the more I'm told I'm yelling, the more I get frustrated. I said, I yell more. But God has delivered me. The same God will deliver you. Amen. The people who yell, we yell a lot in Africa. Oh, we are yellers. They can export yelling to the entire world and be a rich nation, a rich continent. In the traffic, we yell. Even we yell with our horns, ba 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 ba, and then back it up with our body language. Many of us actually kill people with our body language. You know, out of the abundance of the heart. It's not just that the mouth speaketh, the body behaves. Amen. So be well aware of your attitude. So what do we do, therefore, in situations that seem to overwhelm us? And I want you to say the following things after me. We refocus. Say, we refocus. We reframe. And we respond positively at all times. Naturally, because we're still in flesh to some extent, something stings you. Your immediate reaction is to sting back. But if you hold back a moment for a while and you think, just that pause will change your reaction. Just that pause, that patience will change your reaction. And that will make you the winner of the battle. When you win series of battles like that, you're going to end up winning the war. The war that gives you entrance to eternity. Amen. Three other things. Number 8, zero your energy on finding solutions to a problem rather than finding faults in the people involved. There will always be contentions. There will always be disagreements. But before you begin to find fault in the people that are involved, first of all, find a solution. You know, guess what? If after you find a solution, it is easier then to dialogue and discuss how you got to that place. But if it is, I know you are the one that caused it. I was saying last week, I was saying week before, but you never listened. The problem will linger than is necessary. Do not get rooted in the negative ABCD of life. ABCD of life. Do not get rooted in the ABCD of life. And what are ABCD of life? A stands for abstaining. Somebody say abstaining. You draw. I'm not doing it again. No. And the people with their big eyes. No. B stands for blaming. C stands for complaining and complaining. And D stands for defensiveness. And I gave a simple example in the morning. If I ask Newton, who put this bag here? Instead of asking me, say, Pastor, I put my bag under my chair. That's what you say. Defensive. Because he assumed that whoever put that bag there has committed a sin. And pastor is going to discipline the person. I want to make sure that it's not the one. Pastor, I put my own under my bag. And I gave an example of the same Newton. A few months back, they sang a very good hymn. And I said, Newton, that hymn. Newton said, Pastor, how will you amplify it to be sung? I just chilled. Amen. Amen. Have the patience to understand the level of communication before you respond. Amen. And don't always be in an attitude of defensiveness. We know we are all sinners. But Christ has won the victory for us. And once you repent and you resist, you abstain from repeating the same act of sinfulness, you are home. Amen. Has anybody learned sense today? Yes. Come on, go ahead and give God a clap.